What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is your WrestleMania 42 Night 1 / WrestleMania SmackDown preview. That's Jake DeMarco. Unfortunately, we don't have GUAPO. We'll try to get GUAPO back for some more AAA stuff later on. But, Mr. Jake, it's that time. It's WrestleMania time.
Predicto! Yeah, that's right. We get... Yeah.
Get your predictions down in the comment section below. Predict all the matches that we talk about in this pod and make one additional prediction of your choice. And if somebody gets every single one of those answers correct, including their wild card guess, you will get a shout out both on my channel and on Jake's channel.
Yeah.
And I think we'll say this for both pods because, you know, for engagement, I'm splitting this into 2 pods. It's a method.
Yes.
I think we're both excited for WrestleMania. You're a bit more on the critical side. I'm a bit more on the completely buying the hype side. So
actually, I'm as much as I'm critical, I've kind of like not flipped, but I'm more into the like I just want to have fun thing. So as much as like the build sucks and this sucks, I'm at the phase now where like I'm just here to enjoy it. So I know it sucks. I'm not kicking and screaming.
So everybody listening
way.
right now that thought we were going to have it out are going to be disappointed now.
We'll definitely have disagreements, no doubt, because I still have strong opinions, but it's not like to the point where I'm going to be kicking and screaming my way into Mania, kind of like last year with Cody and John, where it was so apparent.
But that worked out so well,
right? You figure they don't learn from past mistakes. Gotcha.
I mean, to be fair, like we don't really have to worry about John's well-being because he's gone now, and Cody was coming off of the previous WrestleMania, which was built as like the Avengers Endgame of wrestling.
But they have a whole documentary about how this was a terrible idea called Unreal Season 2, about how turning John heel was a terrible, terrible thing, and they couldn't wait for it to be over. I mean, Road Dogg was like, I can't wait for John to just beat him and get the fuck out of here. This is awful. Like, everybody was done.
You know what? I'll still be, I'm not defending the result of it. I'll still be that guy that stands on the hill, unpopular, and says, you know what? After 20 some odd years of us asking them for it, they nutted up and gave it to us. Turned out it was a bad idea. But it was one of those, like, turning John Cena heel was one of those swings. It was like, he's retiring this year. It's now or never if we're going to make this a swing. And they tried it, and it fell.
We either do it or we don't. Exactly.
And it fell on its face, ultimately. Let's be real for a second. But
it didn't have to. And they acted like it was going to fail no matter what.
I'd still rather them
take it.
And, when we get to creative stuff, especially like supernatural stuff, especially with what they're doing with Decay over in TNA after last night. Holy shit. Another case of I fucking love wrestling, but goddamn.
Abyss and
Father Mitchell doing therapy live on TV. Let's not talk about it. But as a little bit of a precursor, because we don't know what a pre-show is anymore, because there's this weird conversation about the main card, but some of the main card is on TV, but there's also a kickoff, but there's nothing on the kickoff. Before we get to any of that, on this half of the pod, we're kind of splitting our attention just for a moment because WrestleMania SmackDown has become a thing. More to the point, every time they do either a big show or an international show specifically, because they're usually in the same venue, the SmackDown before a pay-per-view is really more part of the pay-per-view.
I was going to say, to me, that's night 1 of WrestleMania. Or night 0, even if you want to.
Of a three night WrestleMania.
It really is, though, because like the MFTs and the Wyatts being announced, that's a big match.
Yeah,
and so is
we got the Andre.
Yeah.
And the other selling
I think
point,
it's obvious who's winning that, but
I think there's 1 or 2 obvious people, but we will get to that. I do like the fact that the selling points for next week's SmackDown is here's the Andre. Here's a big faction versus faction match. And then the next graphic they had was like, people from Raw and SmackDown will be here.
Yes.
It's like, and I got all the respect in the world for somebody like Sting, but it's like seeing the graphic for Dynamite. Sting will be here. Okay. People from Raw and SmackDown will be here. Well, I hope people from SmackDown will be there because it's SmackDown.
SmackDown, yeah.
What are we doing? Is this something? Is this anything?
And Raw, well, no shit, because they're gonna be there because of Mania and the Hall of Fame and they have to go to the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame that night and all these things. So what are you expecting? Like, of
I
course.
love the fact that people are extending their complaints. I have a separate pod coming up, and it's gonna be me just ranting. I don't think you're gonna have Jake on this one because I just wanna have a ramble, but I am gonna do a separate pod, a solo pod at some point about the whole, like, celebrity conversation because I've got a lot to say,
Yeah.
and I
I'm
don't think it'll
curious.
be
I gotta
very
listen to that one because there's always been celebrities in wrestling, but this is also
it's
very
always been a thing,
egregious when they're taking the
but
focus away from Orton. So it's a hard
but
sell.
But they've we will get to Orton
Mhm.
and Cody. I was about to say Cody and Pat, but that's kind of the
Yeah.
problem. But I
Yes.
like the fact that people are so desperate now to shit on WWE. They've extended the, "Oh my god, why is there so many celebrities?" to the Hall of Fame and Dennis Rodman,
Yeah.
who's literally going into the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
It's
like,
a
it doesn't
thing.
get more
Like, you can look
obviously.
back here's a spoiler for the pod that I'm gonna do later, but look back at WrestleMania 1. There was,
Mhm.
like, 15
Everything.
celebrities there. Celebrities are so much of a thing in the WWE that they have their own wing. They're not here's the thing I hate. They're not taking a spot from a wrestler, they're in their own spot, and that's the big thing that I have for all this. But I will say, do you sign on to the more general topic that the go home for WrestleMania is Raw because SmackDown is part of WrestleMania?
Yeah.
And ultimately, off the back of that, the prediction has to be that there's going to be people from SmackDown on Raw as well for the purpose of being a go home show.
Yes. So
Okay,
that's
so we're on
that's
the same page with that.
yeah.
So now let's talk about the Andre. The
That's
Andre is kind of
literally where I line up at, like, that's exactly my
the Andre
sentiment.
is kind of everything and nothing. There is a backup argument of, well, how come they don't do the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which I don't disagree with, by the way. Because there's people that we're going to talk about later that are not on the card that should be on the card.
Yeah.
Um,
But do they
to
have
me,
enough of a roster to fill it at this point, I wonder? Like, yes, if they borrow from TNA, NXT, but without doing that, just main SmackDown Raw, do they have enough of a roster to have the battle royal with the women? I don't know.
I mean, NXT is part of your roster. I guarantee you there'll be one or two bodies from NXT showing up in the Andre because
Yeah.
it's not exclusionary. It's the same as NXT or men or women showing up at the Rumble. It's just part of it now.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's necessarily a strike against it, but a battle royal is different than a Royal Rumble. A Royal Rumble is a definite 30 people. A battle royal is whatever you announce it as. Oh, we've got a 5-man battle royal coming up. We've got a 10-man battle royal coming up. If you get 10 women out there, like, there's definitely 10 women in on the roster that aren't on the card
Yeah.
without even touching NXT. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but we're gonna get to the whole Asuka, Io, Kyrie conversation at some point. I'm sure we'll throw the Loki legend in there, Maxine Dupree, who's doing like runway videos with Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Apparently now that's a
Yes.
thing. You could definitely fill a battle royal. So doing the Andre and not doing the women's battle royal is 100% an argument point that I'm on board with. But again, the Andre is kind of everything and nothing anyway. It's like, oh, they gave you a big trophy. Well, they gave that to Cesaro and Baron Corbin,
To
and look
yes.
what it did for them. The other side of the coin, you say there's only one obvious winner. I say there's maybe two if you stretch it.
Okay.
So I'm curious who your ace in the hole is. Like, who's your, oh
Carmelo
my god,
Hayes.
okay.
That's who
I
I'm
thought we were
honestly
gonna say the
thinking
same
they're
thing as well.
going with because of how he lost the title, the graphic that they had of him, like,
Mhm.
um, uh I'm trying to think. Yeah, pretty much the graphic that they had, and there was another reason I can't think come to mind right now. So you'll have to slap it out of me after. But I know that it'll return to my head. But yeah, they had the graphic that aired as well, and I was like, oh, that really kind of shows him as the winner. And it was just,
Mm.
and the way they kind of like spoke about him needing this because he just lost the U.S. title. I don't know. It just to me it seemed like a sure thing.
I think they've smoothed over the whole idea, or they're trying to smooth over the whole idea of him, like, dropping the title at sort of like the 1-yard line, if you wanna use a metaphor, for it to be Sammy versus Trick. I said it a while ago when he first dropped it. You're not going to have Carmelo versus Trick at Mania because you don't want either one of them losing on a big stage. Losing on SmackDown, losing with shenanigans. Okay, he lost, but he didn't really lose. Post-Mania, there's a lull. Post-Mania, there's always at least 1 or 2 or 3 brand new stories that kick off. You want to revisit Carmelo and Trick. Do it after Mania in a build to SummerSlam. Have these guys do the magic that they know they can do because we saw it in NXT. Have them do it on SummerSlam because New Day rocks, but because they're trying to I always try to make that joke work and it never does. But they're trying to make SummerSlam as big as WrestleMania. They've been trying to do it since they made it a 2-night thing. So even if it doesn't work for us, them putting those 2 guys in that spot, at least from their point of view, means, hey, look, we trust these guys to make this new WrestleMania that we're making SummerSlam into a thing. And we're going to get into this a bunch. The same people that complained about the length of WrestleMania are now complaining and making their sad little lists of who didn't make the cut this year. Well, if you're complaining about a long WrestleMania, you want to shorten it, you want less matches, there's going to be less people. And here's the sad part about that. The less people might be one of your people.
And here's the thing too,
like, because on that stage, absolutely.
Yeah. And I had somebody come up to me earlier and be like, "Oh, you're complaining because they added 3 more matches to Dynasty today. I thought you liked long shows. Weren't you just saying you wanted a long Mania?" I'm like, "Yeah, WrestleMania. If they did this for All In, I'd be fine with it. But it's Dynasty. They have they
the
made it now,
the whataboutism that's not quite whataboutism. I mean, temporarily it's been diverted against TNA because, oh my God, how dare TNA actually push back for once?
Yeah.
People really didn't like our clip about that situation.
No,
And to
they were
them,
not
I
happy.
say, cry harder. Cry harder. Here's the thing. Carmelo Hayes was in my head until this week's SmackDown. So now I'm stuck between 2 people. And I do think they're going to be the last 2 people in there. And I'm really okay with either one of them winning. I think it's either going to be Carmelo or they put a little jump start behind Royce Keys after his debut this past Friday.
Yeah.
It's a battle royal. He's a big guy. He's a power guy.
I didn't think about him, and you're on to something there. It does make sense. That would be ideal. Like you said, like Baron Corbin when he came up, and it was like, hey, look at this guy. And they're kind of doing that with Royce Keys. They're trying to make him. I feel like they're having a swerve with it, though. I think they're going to make him a heel. Like they want everybody to have him be this babyface, and then they're going to flip it. For whatever reason, because they pushed the babyface story so hard, so egregiously hard so far with the podcast thing over and over and the hard upbringing.
Yeah, I think it might mirror real life in the sense of, oh, they're telling us this guy's sad story, so we're gonna get behind him because he must be a good guy, and then they can flip it and be like, oh, whatever dickhead thing he does is okay because he has a sad story.
Yeah.
A little bit of I say a little bit of art imitating real life. We see that in real social situations.
Yes.
You can potentially go and kill somebody, but then play crazy in court. I didn't say that. I would never say that. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, that's what they advise.
But either way, I think it coming down to Carmelo because people are behind Carmelo in the sense of everybody's pissed off that he's not on Raw, and I think a healthy degree of that is only going to help Carmelo Hayes.
And they're upset that he's not at Mania now, and
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think they're upset that he's not champion because he carried he carried the championship almost to the 1-yard line and dropped it like right before Mania, like Punk losing to The Rock at Chamber, however many years ago, right before Mania. But I think that you are the wronged party approach will get the fans behind you in a different way, and Royce Keys, Powerhouse Hobbs, whatever you want to call him. People liked him before he came to WWE. People liked him when he was in the other place. And to people that didn't know him in the other place, hey, here's a brand new guy. And he just went around wrecking fools. So I think each one of them has a different kind of following. Put those 2 as the last 2 in the Battle Royal. I don't think you lose either way. I think either you jumpstart a guy that just got here. And yes, I get that he made his debut in the Royal Rumble. And then we kind of left him off for a little bit until we figured some stuff out. But for all intents and purposes, for the week-to-week canon of WWE, he showed up last week.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So brand new guy, brand new shiny toy. versus here's a guy who should be all the way at the top and he lost his title and we're not even going to get to see him at Mania and we wanted to see him on the biggest stage, so we're going to support him even more, even more, even more. I think you go with those two, and either way, you get a win. I'm like you. I'm pulling for Carmelo, but if they go Royce Keys and they go all in on the guy in the first 10 days that he's been on TV, it's not going to hurt my feelings.
No, no, certainly not. And it would be a better thing and a better use. I think a better use than if they gave it to Carmelo.
Yeah. And
Honestly.
he's always like, I hate to go stereotypical, but like WWE does have that inbuilt battle Royal Rumble. God, who's going to throw him over the top rope?
Yes.
Of that. So either you got the guy who clearly is going to wreck everybody that comes in and wrecks everybody, or you have Carmelo Hayes be the answer to the question, oh my God, who can throw this guy? I think either way you win.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what, there it's like
and
either which way you're covered.
It's kind of funny for their mid card because I don't see anybody else winning this. The only other person that I would have said would be in the front of the line to win this would be LA Knight if they hadn't thrown him into another match we're going to talk about in a second.
Yeah.
But again, it would be more of this is your reward for not being at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Phoenix, maybe as a dark horse.
I
Ray Phoenix, maybe.
Maybe
I don't think you would.
I just don't see it, honestly.
Well, neither do I. That's why
yeah,
I'm saying it would definitely be
yeah.
a very dark horse type of win there. But Ray Phoenix is going to be going after Laredo Kid and the AAA Cruiserweight Championship soon. I think maybe at Night of the Greats is their next show. I can't
believe
remember how to
so.
say it in Spanish. Nacha de los Grandes or whatever. Too many Grandes. And to the Spanish speaking people out there, I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to butcher your language on purpose.
No,
this is why we need GUAPO. This is why we need GUAPO. Now, I'm not going to have my feelings hurt either way if it's Ray Phoenix, if it's Carmelo Hayes, if it's Royce Keys. You know what does hurt my feelings?
What's that?
The rivalry that I have been sticking up for so long on the basis of, I know it's gone on a long time. I know it's ridiculous. They're probably going to blow it off at Mania. Just give me till Mania. And they're giving it to us the night before.
I know.
It's the Wyatt 6 and the MFTs.
What a joke. And the way it's being handled too. It's like, really?
It's there.
I mean, it's been on TV for how many months now? It's been a focal point for a while. The lantern, the tag titles,
I will say in the past 3 weeks.
Who are the tag champs on SmackDown right now?
It's Priest and Truth.
That's right. So it's like, they don't have a match at Mania, Yet. So
Technically,
I don't think they're going to, but
I should say, for people that are listening to this and for people that are listening to part 2, I'm probably going to drop these on Tuesday and Wednesday of WrestleMania week. We're recording this on Sunday. We haven't seen the Go Home Raw. We haven't seen the WrestleMania SmackDown. Anything could change in the next couple of days. So they don't have a challenger.
But as of right now, it's funny how they're pushing tickets, but now they're finalizing the card. No wonder why people are pushing through tickets,
Hey, Pat loves us. Pat wanted to do us a huge favor. We'll get there. Don't worry. Anyways, but I do think it's kind of fun. And we did this on another pod a long time ago.
Yeah.
Look at the past and present members of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Priest is a champion. If you want to go as far as saying R-Truth is a champion with Priest. Ripley's got a title shot at Mania. Liv's got a title shot at Mania. Dominic and Finn are against each other in a pretty marquee match at WrestleMania. JD McDonough has a championship opportunity at Mania. And even tonight, as we speak, even Edge has a title shot.
Yes.
Judgment Day helps everybody. I mean, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez are sort of out in a lurch, but I mean, Roxanne Perez is putting her skull back together, and Raquel Rodriguez, well, she sure is tall.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What a back. With the flexing and the posing.
Watch out for Jelly Roll. He's going to put his belly on your back.
And my mama's back.
Anyways, so here's what I'm saying. Like, I know I'm on an island and the island keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I still do like the MFTs and the Wyatts.
I
It's
still do
not a
like
main
the
event.
Wyatt 6, I just don't love them, that's the problem that I have,
That's
and
fine.
and they
I
they
like
had
the
so much
MFTs
intrigue and
more.
interest that's been
As soon
taken
as
away
Solo
from them.
Sikoa as soon as Solo Sikoa and the rest of them realized they weren't a main event concern and slotted themselves into the mid card, I like them more.
Yeah, because
Solo
then they
Sikoa
knew their
thinking
role and
yeah, Solo Sikoa, but Solo Sikoa is that guy in the mid card that thinks he's a main eventer, and that as a character attribute, it works. To the point where this past week, he sees, Jacob Fatu, who's obviously got a marquee match on the pay-per-view. Jacob Fatu has kinda surpassed the MFTs, obviously, but he believes that he can still stand up to that guy because he believes he still brought that guy in. That's kinda
yeah.
cool. He believes he's got all his guys behind him. He's blind to the fact that, Tama Tonga's taking a second look at everything and maybe getting his head turned by Shinsuke Nakamura, which is a weird, um it's a weird turn of events if you're not familiar with, like, New Japan history and all that, a random Shinsuke Nakamura appeared. But, like,
Yes.
there's story going into it on the MFT side, and the Wyatts, as much as I like them, are just the guys they're facing while we figure out what's going on with the MFTs. And you know what? They're gonna have a cool entrance. And because it's gone on so long, some things that they just survive by just existing for a long time, and
Yeah.
by that logic, I would have loved to see this at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
I would love to see what kind of reaction the MFTs get by a crowd that big. Obviously, the Wyatt-esque entrance of the Wyatt 6 would be kick-ass in a big stadium setting and all that kind of thing.
Oh,
And just
absolutely.
let it be ridiculous. Like, I keep drilling this into everybody's head. Not everything on the WrestleMania card is supposed to be something that could have main evented WrestleMania. Like, there has to be mid-card stuff, there has to be fun stuff, there has to be in-between stuff. What was
You're not wrong, yeah.
the random six-man tag a couple of years ago, and they said, "Oh, by the way, here's your surprise referee," and it was like Bully Ray. And it's just like, "Okay,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna break some stuff and have some fun for 10 minutes."
Yep.
Like, this could have gone on the card. There is a gap on night 2,
Yeah, that's
because I think
missing a
there's
match, and I
I
think I know what that is still.
so do I, but it's a frustrating situation.
Yes.
So where do we wanna start? Oh, we haven't really talked about the ESPN thing too much. How they've chosen which matches are gonna go, on that sort of first hour, free hour, TV hour. I get the ones that they've chosen for night 1, and I don't really get the ones that they've chosen for night 2, but we'll save that for the second pod. So, let's get into the celebrity conversation. Oh my god, Jake, there's a celebrity at WrestleMania. Can you believe that I Show Speed has a match on what you can pretty much call the kickoff at this point?
Yes.
He's in a six-person tag on the lower part of the card. Guess who was in a six-person tag on the upper part of the card if you look back enough in your wrestling history?
Mm, who could it
Snooki.
be? Ah, yes.
I would rather see I Show Speed than Snooki
Well, that's the thing,
because
though. We've had this before. This is not new
it's not
territory. This
new.
is not
It's not
WrestleMania
new
has
territory as far
always
as
had.
existing. I'm gonna go one more on you. It's not new territory as far as the celebrities existing. It is new territory as far as they've picked and chosen celebrities that have actually taken it seriously.
Oh yeah, they've got better choice of celebrities. I'll gladly give you that one.
Logan Paul, I don't care if you like him or not. Logan Paul is a wrestler on the roster now. Bad
Yes, and
Bunny when
he's
he shows
far
up,
better.
kicks ass. Jelly Roll for the fact that he's had like 3 matches and lost like 100 pounds. He's doing all right. And Speed, like it's not on their YouTube. It's just on like random YouTube clips like
Yes.
floating around. Like you can see all the different wrestlers that he's gone to for help and how do I do this and how do I make this work? And by the way, I don't want to cut my leg open again. And like
Yeah.
he's
How do I
very much
do this
I don't know
exactly?
much about iShow Speed other than his involvement in WWE. I don't know what he does in his own social media time, but like he looks like he's able to see what he's done already, see what didn't work, joke about himself, which is drastically important, and just like, that really didn't work out in my favor at all. How do I not do that again?
Yes. And he
Like,
knows, like, "Hey, I've gotta do something different this time because"
and he knows he's not walking into WrestleMania to stand across from CM Punk or Roman Reigns or Randy Orton or Cody
but he's
Rhodes or
had big
Brock Lesnar.
matches, you know,
He's had
and
big
he took
he's
on
had
Seth
big moments.
Rollins and,
Who did?
Logan
I'm talking
Paul.
I'm talking about Speed.
Oh, Speed, yeah. Well, I'm saying though, like, you know,
I'm
Logan
just saying he
Paul is
takes
I
it. Yeah, Logan's on the roster. People need
yeah.
to get over that. Oh,
Speed has
he's an
had
outsider. He's an
some
outsider.
equally establishing moments as far as a celebrity
When he
goes,
was when he was in the bottle,
you know,
when he was in the prime bottle.
the Rumble, I mean, he's done some great spots so far and things that are memorable. They stand out. And just because I said memorable spot and you and I each thought of something different shows
Yep, that's the thing.
right there
Well,
that
the
that
big spear with Breaker was huge, and he
yeah.
chucked him around like an empty tracksuit, to borrow the Adam Nicholas expression.
Mhm.
Um, I always have a little bit of respect for the people that do awkward stuff as well. So like doing the stuff in the bottle, and yeah, okay, it means he's got a bit of padding around him, but also it means that like his mobility is limited, his vision is limited.
Yes, he
There's a
can't
different kind of
see.
coordination that has to go into that, and there's a different kind of you're there to be the joke. So while you're trying not to die, you also have to be funny.
Yes. And be willing to
But
laugh at yourself. Yeah.
it kind of feels like when you look at this trio though, like I know the Vision is cursed. Like if you join the Vision, you get injured eventually type of thing, right?
Yes.
But right now the Vision is Logan Paul and Austin Theory managed by Paul Heyman. But if
Yes.
you look at this fight graphic, it looks like Austin Theory is the sidekick of the
I
team of
know.
Show Speed and Logan
And
Paul.
Logan Paul,
So,
yeah.
and I mean, because they're already connected and
But
what have you. I think
that's kind of been the issue here anyways, because Austin Theory was the masked man and then just kind of fell to the wayside. It was like, "Oh, you were the masked
he looked
man."
like he didn't quite make the Death Riders.
Yes, like, "Oh, you were the masked man." We never really got the why. Okay, it was a
What did
tryout.
I say when he first
It
came
was
back?
a
Because
tryout.
he shaved his head and he had the big puffy jacket, it was like, Craven the Death Rider.
Yes.
But I mean, this match, again, and this is where I get into the filler conversation. This match exists to do exactly what it does. Nobody gives a shit about Austin Theory, in kayfabe. Nobody gives a
Yes.
shit about Austin Theory. In reality, the guy's super underrated, but
We
whatever.
know this,
No,
but yeah, no, but in the
but
story, like,
the
it
story is nobody gives a shit about Austin Theory. Everybody hates Logan Paul, and ISHO Speed's kind of been like sucked into the equation. On the
yeah.
other side of the coin, you got three of the most popular, like what do you talk about all the time? Three of the most popular crowd involvement, crowd interaction guys
People, the
that
yeah,
are
the
there.
yeet, yes, all of it.
So people want to yeah, people want to yeet, people want to run it back, and the other three are just the ones that happen to be on the other side of the ring while that's happening. It's going to
Yes.
be a lot of fun. I think
We've
ISHO
seen this
Speed's
like
gonna
the Shield taking on the New Age Outlaws
oh yeah, and Kane,
and Kane, you know, Kane was the only active
which was
one really at that
so
time, and the
random.
New Age Outlaws were like, you know, the celebrity guest returning
And they had the
type
penny
thing,
belts at
and
the time too.
yeah. Yeah.
If you remember that, they had the penny belts at the time. It looked real because they were all in black, and then you had like the
Yes.
bronze, and it looked really. It looked like somebody carrying around a regular title, and then they just took all the color out of the picture.
Yeah.
But like, I will say the criticism that by doing this with the Usos and LA Knight, the criticism that the tag titles are not being defended is a valid one.
It is.
But the only other option that you have there, if you're gonna follow the story that they've told, is okay, Usos versus the Vision again, and then LA Knight versus ISHO Speed solo.
Yeah, like
I I
there's
don't
no
know.
because where does I show speed and if you don't have him involved, then what does LA Knight do? Like you
LA
said,
Knight goes to SmackDown and he wins the Andre.
basically, because what else is left for him to do at this point, sadly? Like they didn't exactly set him up well. And what, they're gonna have him take on Braun Breaker, you know, next? Like that's not happening. That was supposed to be Seth's role. That's why they're having Gunther as a
And the other thing about
stand-in.
it is too, as much as I've just given credit to like WWE bringing in like celebrities that actually take the time to learn what they're doing,
Yeah.
Speed hasn't had a match. Like bury him in a six man, he can do the spots and do the old Paul Heyman thing, cover up the weaknesses and accentuate the strengths. Get in
Yeah.
there,
And that's
do
all
the
they
things we've
need.
taught you so far. But LA Knight is a popular guy, has a bad habit of like the crowd dying after the yeahs go away.
Mhm.
and the actual matches, and, he has trouble with the top rope. So him and
Being
Speed
slippery.
in a one him and Speed in a one-on-one match is putting more on the shoulders of Speed as a celebrity guest than is fair.
Yes.
It's
More than what's
again,
needed of
I'm I'm
him.
go I'm gonna get super repetitive on this, but, like, this is the most cut and paste, "Let's have some fun, let's do some let's do some yeet." My prediction is ISHO Speed kinda walks off on the heels because 'cause they're playing him off as, like, the babyface guy that really didn't wanna get sucked into the heel team. Like, all
Yeah.
his participation has been, like, accidental.
Mhm.
And they're kind of like Logan and Austin are kinda using him as a punching bag. So if he
Yes.
kinda walks away from them and they get the 3-on-2 beatdown that they've been obviously story-wise deserving for a while now, and then he stays in the ring afterwards to and yeet with the Usos and LA Knight, it's that kinda match. It's the good guys are gonna win, you're gonna feel
Yes.
good, it's the beginning of the show.
Even
It's
though
in
the
that
Vision is tag champs, Speed's probably gonna get pinned, and that'll be how it ends, you know?
I I don't think Speed's gonna I think Speed's gonna walk off on them. And you don't hurt the tag team champions by then losing a 3-on-2 match.
No. I don't think you
But I
hurt him
think
if Speed gets pinned either, because then they can
yeah.
kinda blame it. I mean, either which
Okay, if
way.
they turn on him afterwards, then
Yeah.
yeah. If he gets the pin and then they turn on him afterwards and he says, "Yeah, go
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
yourself." But if he
That's what
goes
I think
in
it would go into.
but if he's getting yelled at by the other 2 in the match and says, "Fuck this, I don't need it," and walks off, and that causes the 3-on-2 on the Vision, and that causes the loss, and he sticks around to yeet with the Usos afterwards, and, Austin Theory and Logan Paul are very good at looking butthurt on the apron. It's like, "Well, we still escaped with our titles, and it was a 3-on-2 advantage, but we're still gonna pout." Like, they're
Mhm.
bad guys, they're supposed to pout on the apron. Like, it
Yes.
is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna go as far as, the good guys win, Speed turns on the villains or just decides he's not an asshole either during or after the match, and that plays into the ending.
I could see him
Um,
like, my pick is he gets pinned, they turn on him, and then LA Knight and all them save Speed, and
oh, yeah.
that's the outcome. That's my guess.
It's exactly like The Rock coming back to save Hulk Hogan after the NWO turns on him. It's
Yes.
exactly like that.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
I show Speed is the new Hulk Hogan. I'm sure people will do a lot with that quote.
Mm.
I do think it is in the Hardy Boys spot. Like, remember how until they became single stars, Hardys were always in the opening match because they knew they could get the crowd going. I think
Yes.
they're in the Hardy Boys spot. It's in the first hour, the free hour that's on ESPN2,
Mhm.
whereas the second night it's on just regular ESPN.
Yeah.
I'm predicting it's gonna go first. I'm predicting it's in the Hardy spot, which is which is a nice little transition into the bit of news that we got today that the Hardy Boys, no longer the TNA Tag Champs,
Yes.
are gonna be at WWE World this
Which is
coming weekend.
awesome. So are
So
they
I'm
one step closer
saying
to making a return?
I'm saying Truth and Priest
Mm.
have some random segment in the back on Friday. They interact with the Hardy Boys by chance, and perhaps you get that kind of exhibition,
Setup.
like
Mm.
exhibition, challenge, a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of fun, face versus face. Everybody shakes hands at the end, but you get the Hardy Boys on WrestleMania. The last time they made a surprise comeback at WrestleMania. Do you remember the pop, my guy?
Oh, I do. Liz was there. I remember seeing her live
Hey,
reaction
shout out to
video.
Liz.
Like, holy hell. It was unprecedented how loud
When the
that
New Day when
was.
the New Day came out and everybody thought that they were gonna say like, "Oh, by the way, we're in this match too."
Yeah.
But then they're like, "Oh, who could the last competitor be?
Woo!
Who? Who?" And that one little piece of, like, super generic copy-free music that the Hardys have used forever,
Mhm.
that you can use for anything that
Yeah.
you can use for anything because it's copy free,
Mhm.
uh, like, huge pop. And then cheesy ass Michael Cole, "Things are about to be broken."
Yeah.
Okay, bud. All right.
Thank you for
It's
that.
fine. Yeah, but TNA doesn't contribute anything to pro wrestling,
No.
and
Never.
they're mean because they hurt Tony Khan's feelings. Anyways, moving swiftly on. Very, very cool. I guarantee you we get the Hardy Boys involved at some point, or we get the announcement that, they're going in the Hall of Fame next year.
Something, yeah, one of those 2 is
By the way,
happening.
Shout out to ODB, who's going into the TNA Hall of Fame this
Yeah,
coming
awesome to see
October,
that.
I think. Very, very, very
Yeah,
cool.
Bound for
Very, very,
Glory.
very cool. Lots of really cool news coming out of last night's Rebellion show. Also, very, very cool to see the comeback from injury of Casey Navarro.
Yes,
Really,
that was
really like
nice.
Casey Navarro. He was a champion in Destiny. Check it off your Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine. So I hope we see him there again as well. Next one. Still sticking with the kickoff, or what I'm calling the kickoff at this point. I don't care. The first hour of the pay-per-view that's on ESPN2.
Yes.
I don't have as much. I'm looking forward to this match. I don't have as much to say about it because Jacob Fatu is just going to kick the shit out of Drew McIntyre. Like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
the promo was great. I really loved how everything transpired in the jail cell, and like, you know, it just really made Drew look like such a hateable asshole. And you're like,
Hateable
"Oh my."
asshole, but you can also believe that he's genuinely angry. Like,
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm not
Everything's
pretending.
conveyed perfectly.
Yeah. I'm not pretending to be angry just to justify my horrible actions. I'm doing these horrible actions because I'm genuinely angry. There's a huge difference there that a lot of people don't get. Here's the thing, and here's where, Spaz can just never be happy sometimes. For the people that say I don't ever, ever, ever criticize WWE, even though I criticize them more than anybody else, here's my problem with a match like this. And there's a couple matches like this on the card that they've kind of killed without meaning to. There are certain matches on this card, both nights, where just tell me the match is happening. That's all I need to know.
Yeah,
And the fact
exactly.
that WWE is like, I say it all the time, WWE from a production point of view, from a build-up point of view, from a video package, from an interview point of view, WWE is untouchable. We know this. But I don't need you to tell me any more about this match because I already know how good it's going to be. And when you've reached that point and you keep selling it, it almost has a reverse effect. Like, okay, the fact that you think you need to keep selling this is like, are you not as confident in this match as I am as a fan? And you shouldn't be having those thoughts a week out from the pay-per-view. I think that you could have announced it, have a brawl or two, and maybe like don't do a video package on the feud, do like a proper hype package for Drew, do a proper hype package for Jacob, and then maybe have them face off one time before the show. They have, because they're so good at production, they've overproduced
Yeah.
some of the matches going into this card. And it's not any more obvious than it is for me with this match, because when they kick off another video package, I'm just like, shut up, I know it's going to be great, I'll watch it on the night.
I
So
think there
they've
are people that do
overproduced it.
need that, though.
There's other things that I don't think have been built enough
Yeah.
that could have used it, but
Yes, but I'm saying I think there's people that they feel like need these
they needed it
vignettes
for
for
this.
this match, yeah.
I think a lot of people want to question or not necessarily justify the existence of this match because they were so convinced that these two were going to be involved in the main event
The
with Cody
title.
and Randy.
Exactly.
And
And
I
look
don't
at
know
how
that that
far that
necessarily
fell from 2
works.
weeks ago.
We've got quite a few multi-person matches on this card, and we're not there yet, but there is a point where everything being a pile of people match, every match on
Yeah.
the card, sorry, being a pile of people match. A couple is fun, too many is just messy.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to balance sometimes, but it
Makes
is what it
sense,
is.
though.
I don't have too much more to say about this. Jacob's gonna win. I don't know what they do with Drew after this, to be fair,
I
because
don't
I
know
think Jacob
either,
is
but
the champion next.
yeah, Jacob can't lose this, especially
Mm.
the way they booked it with like, "Oh, you weren't there for your family, you weren't there, you're just a convict," and, you know, like, everything negative. Like, he has to
Mm.
win this of all matches, so
We always talk about the crossovers because of the very cool and productive partnership they have with TNA. I've pushed for a long time that I would love to see Damian Priest versus Mike Santana, and I still do. Santana versus Fatu would be a nice exhibition match.
fucking A right. There's a
But,
lot left on that bone. There's a lot of meat that they haven't
there's a
touched.
lot left in the tank.
Mhm.
Shout out Mark Henry.
All
Um,
gas.
the only thing I can think of really, and it's not a downgrade per se, because Drew can have this effect for a lot of people, it's already been kind of set up that Royce Keys' first proper feud may be against Solo Sikoa. Once he plows through Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys, Drew McIntyre wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, no, I
It'd be
wouldn't hate
interesting.
that either, because from there, it all depends on. I mean, yeah, it depends on what they do after that feud, but I would like that personally. I agree.
But yeah, I think we're on the same page of Jacob's got to win this if Drew wins
Yeah,
it.
this is one
As
that's
much as
just kind of
as much
lines
as
up
I,
as such.
it's weird because I want Drew McIntyre to have cool shit, right? But they seem to like to partner him up with people that I like to see cool shit with more. So
Yes.
he's becoming the badass super heavyweight Dolph Ziggler of the situation, which I'm sure is not ideal, but he will have his day. Unfortunately, his one day was in front of no crowd, which he still
Mm,
uses to this day to fuel this character, which I think is awesome.
yeah.
All right. So we don't have a Raw Tag Team Championship match on WrestleMania. We don't have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. We do have a Women's Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. It's a fatal four-way between Charlotte, I'm Not Soul, Ruka, Flair, and Alexa Bliss versus Bailey and Lyra versus the Irresistible Forces, which is a terrible name, but a pretty cool team, and the Bellas, who just don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Now, I've got two very different points to make on this match, and for the most part, it's not about any of the other people in this match. Number one, I don't think this is the best women's tag team showcase we could have gotten because
No,
it's not telling an individual story for any of the individual teams. It
they're all
has
just
done
thrown together and
it
dumped
has
on.
done the opposite though. Because they knew they were driving towards this match, this big multi-person match at WrestleMania, it hasn't promoted any single team. It has promoted, whether you like it or not, we do have a division. Because for a long time, they didn't. They threw the belts on somebody. They forgot about it for 6 months. They would pass them on to somebody else. They would forget about them for 6 months. So it has been, the division has been the star, not any one individual team.
Yeah.
And I think there's a partial good to that because it means that they're going forward. The negative of that is it really does show that with these particular titles, they're still on the first step. I'm glad they took the first step, that they haven't just forgotten about them continuously, that they have had good matches, that they have brought in a certain collection of people. But this is a showcase to say we have a division, not a showcase to say,
Yeah.
look at this particular team, look at this particular team, look at this particular team. And I'm pretty sure this wasn't done intentionally, but they're the only tag team titles being represented across the two nights of WrestleMania. So they do get a distinction in that regard. So that will put
Yeah.
some focus on it. There's other multi-person matches, but they're for singles titles or they're just for rivalry's sake.
Yes. So
Now,
I'm thinking quick, like quick
go.
answer is Bailey and Lyra. Why? Because Bailey got excluded last year. She gets her WrestleMania moment as well as the
Mhm.
match, and it's dual fold that gives them the titles because they can go back and forth between. That would be my ideal scenario. More than
Mhm.
likely, I can see the fucking Bellas winning it just because.
Well, here's the thing. And here's the thing, and here's the thing. If the Bellas win, I'm going to throw up in my mouth.
You might be.
Like there's no reason for me to be nice about that. There's no reason for them to be picking up titles at this stage in their quote unquote careers. Here's the bigger problem I have with the Bellas right now. The Bellas existing has fucked us out of another match that we were supposed to get at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Because if you believe the dirt sheets, and it's being reported in enough places that and the Bellas are shitty enough that I can believe it. The idea of Io Sky being off the card is because Io Sky versus Asuka was supposed to be a match. And for everybody that's like, oh, they're just going to pull that out of nowhere, you haven't been paying attention for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, that was the
That's what that is.
whole point of Damage
But
Control, the breakup, and yeah.
but the whole reason we're not getting Io versus Asuka and potentially the breakup of Asuka and Kairi Sane is because WWE may need to keep the Kabuki Warriors together, because if fragile-ass Nikki Bella, Amber Heard 2.0, decides that she's not fit to wrestle, the Bellas are going to be replaced by the Kabuki Warriors. If
Yes.
you're going to feature the Kabuki Warriors as a tag team because you know that they deserve to be on WrestleMania, it shouldn't be only if the Bellas aren't available, first of all. Second of all, you really fucked over Io Sky.
But they don't care.
Third of all, but here's the thing as well. It's not a one-on-one match, right? Third of all, you don't need to hold in abeyance a replacement for the Bellas. If the Bellas can't make the match, you've still got a pretty kick-ass triple threat there with Bayley, Lyra, Alexa, Charlotte, and the Irresistible Forces.
Yep. So you would think.
Or
that would be enough.
Or, not that they're going to win, but just let them have some shine for a second. Bring up Fatal Influence for a night. Bring up Ren QCC for a night. Bring up, I mean, it wouldn't make very much sense, but like do like Sol Ruka and Tatum Paxley as a one night team for the night, just to show up and show out and do some NXT. Because also, these are the titles that are supposed to cross over all three brands. The fact that NXT is, I'm not pushing for NXT matches at WrestleMania, because NXT has stand and deliver, oi oi oi. But the whole purpose of amalgamating these titles with the NXT titles was it was supposed to be the title that went across all three brands. If you're going to do a four-way, if you're going to do, and I don't know why they felt they insisted on doing a four-way. I thought do a gauntlet. I thought do a ladder match. They're doing a ladder match somewhere else. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, anything.
But if you're insisting on the four-way format, have the champions, and if it's a crossover title, then you have the champions and one set of challengers from each brand.
Yeah.
What brand are the Bellas on other than the fucking Amber Heard cosplay we don't really need to be here brand?
I think they're actually assigned to Raw, believe it or not, but
okay, but Raw's represented by Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
I didn't say it made sense. I just said
yep. And see, here's the thing. Not that we want to speculate and tell wrestlers where to go and all that kind of thing. There is speculation that Bayley may not be re-upping her contract in WWE.
Well, she keeps saying she wants one more match with Mercedes.
Yeah, well,
she keeps saying that repeatedly. So,
well, it's not like Sasha Banks is going to make a one-night show up at WrestleMania to challenge Bayley. So, like, if she wants to face Mercedes, she's going to go to AEW.
Yeah,
and
that's
between the
what's
two of them,
fueling that fire.
Between the two of them, not a single other woman on that roster is going to get a lick of time on TV. Don't worry about it; it's fine. But here's the thing: my theory is if she's planning on leaving, she stayed long enough and stayed partners with Lyra long enough to get Lyra a WrestleMania moment, which is admirable. And Bayley's amazing. She's got her own training school and all that kind of stuff started up. There's 100 stories about how many people she's helped both in and out of WWE. Her and Chelsea are the two that reach out to every talent that's ever been let go and said, if you're looking for places, here's where to go, here's where to go, here's where to go. I know these, like, she's a helper, she's a facilitator, she's a mentor in the strictest, like, mentor, like true mentor sense. If
Chelsea was dropping off like old costumes and all that stuff to the NXT ladies. Yeah. And I was like, that's so cool to just,
and you know what it is? I want every single fucking good thing for Chelsea, because A, she's not on the card, which is a crime.
Yeah.
B, I mean, she should be hosting along with John Cena. It should be a 3-person hosting booth. Let John Cena do it. I get why they're doing it. I didn't really have it on here as a topic, but like, okay, John Cena's hosting. All right. Like it doesn't work as a topic, but like have John Cena and Chelsea and Danhausen be the hosts of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is
effective.
If Bayley has decided to go to AEW, will I be sad to lose her on the good show? Yes. Am I going to tell somebody else where they should go in their career? Absolutely not. Even though we know that Sasha's trash, but if she doesn't see that, that's fine.
That's on her. Yeah, we can't.
But we don't dictate here. We don't dictate here. Just, happens to be like if some of the rascals go over there and get buried on Collision, and this guy over here.
Well, that's why I gave you a Pyro Wrestling Live. I gave you a Pyro Wrestling Live shout out today because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles debuted. All 4 of them. Well, 3 of them. One of them couldn't because of their tweets. So we didn't get we didn't get Donatello yet, but we're working on fixing that at Pyro
Well,
Wrestling
shout
Live.
out,
So.
shout out to Trey Miguel. Apparently, he messed up his knee last night in an amazing match
Yeah.
with
So
Mustafa
good
Ali.
with Ollie, you told
The
me to
the
watch it
the
twice. I did. It was
yeah,
so good.
the Meteora on the outside to the open steps, where he basically took Ali and then he went all the way. Apparently, he messed up his knee, but it was the same time as apparently it was the first time his dad was able to like make it out to a show. So it's like a highs and lows type of thing for Trey Miguel.
Yeah.
But the retribution of Trey Miguel after getting fucked over by AEW is fantastic.
It's
And
happening.
again, I want to double down. I'm never telling anybody where to go. But
No.
if you're a female wrestler in 2026, I do not understand why you would go to AEW. I don't.
I don't get it
And
either,
that's not
and
and that's
it's
not
not
and that's
like,
not me here calling people a dumbass or anything like that. It's just why?
it's not like, "Oh, they're predators," and, like, people are blowing it
No,
into
it's not like
that.
that.
It's
You're just
no.
not gonna get used.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
look at what they're doing on the TV with anybody,
And Bailey's
and
not exactly a grind runner either.
no, and look at what
Anyways,
happened with Toni Storm, like, until she was injured, but they overused her without putting any
mhm,
emphasis on her gimmick at all, so
it's true.
and
All of
and
this
that
to say all of
yeah.
this to say, if Bailey's leaving and she just stayed long enough to get Lyra a WrestleMania moment, first of all, very admirable. Second of all, it means they're not winning. As
Yeah.
much as I like Alexa and Charlotte Flair, I kinda wanna see Nia Jackson Lash Legend keep going. Because Jax is new or sorry, Legend is new and Jax has had a very up and down career, but they've really hit it off as
Yeah,
like
they're
the
working well
powerhouse tag.
together.
I People are probably gonna be surprised that I'm not going for Bayley or Lyra or Charlotte or Alexa. I'm going for Jackson Legend to keep it.
I don't blame you, that was going to be my pick, like, personally, but I still think Bailey and Lyra are going to win it, if not the Bellas, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to have them retain. Out of everybody on here, they
And
need
for the
it the most.
record, my prediction of Jax and Legend does still stand, even if they swap out the Bellas for the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, but they need it the most out of
Mhm.
everybody because Nia's had a tumultuous up and down history,
Yep.
and Lash is brand
Legend is new.
new and needs to have a way to establish herself, and they're only complementing each other the more they work
You know
together.
what I will say though?
So,
For somebody
hey,
that's as new to the main roster as Lash Legend, she doesn't carry herself like somebody that's new.
she doesn't act green, and she's very good
No.
at protecting others. So,
Yep. And she's got presence. She
yes,
kind of
she lets
reminds me
moves
of
sell. She's one of
yeah,
those
she
that
kind
like
of reminds
lets
me
it
of Trick
sets.
Williams in that regard. I can't imagine why, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that happens, but
Sticking with the amazing women's division, another match that I know a lot of people aren't necessarily looking forward to. I'm
women
looking
with
forward to.
amazing husbands as well.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I'm just with it because I really like both of the wrestlers involved. AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. They've gone back and forth. Yes, AJ Lee has not been as present as some other wrestlers are, and some fans would like her to be. This is her second go. This is her like this is where I am in life now.
Mhm.
Go at doing a run in WWE. I understand the criticism, but it is one of those ones where I'm gonna say, I understand the criticism, but I don't care. I
Yeah,
like AJ Lee a lot.
I do too.
Um, and Becky Lynch is getting up into that Kevin Owens category of she's at her best when she's pissed off,
Mhm.
character-wise and all that sort of thing. It's been fantastic. Again, you talk about, who do you put new people with? Who do you put people that, need to be taken care of with? And I'm sorry, AJ Lee was gone for 10 years. Ring rust is a thing. Age catches up to all of us, not saying that she's old. But when you hop into this, oh, AJ Lee's making her comeback, let's put her with some people that can facilitate that.
Yeah.
Same kind of conversations we just had about Bailey apply to Becky as well. Um, I don't know. I don't know who I'm predicting here because I don't know how much longer AJ Lee is here. Like, was this a farewell swan song? Like, was she doing her John Cena retirement year or is she hanging around a bit longer? So I don't know what to base my guess on. As a fan, looking
Yeah.
at the characters, looking at it from a people that I like perspective, I'm gonna go with AJ Lee. because I think she looks great with the Intercontinental Championship. She carries it well. Becky Lynch is kind of above it, even though she did a lot for it. She did the same thing for the Intercontinental Championship that she did for the NXT Championship when she was defending it on Raw.
Yeah.
So I think
getting more eyes on it, and
very, very quickly, it's going to be time for her to get back into that top upper echelon. So I'm not saying that she should lose because she shouldn't win. I'm saying she should lose because there's something else she should go win.
I keep thinking that Becky's gonna get the belt back. Becky goes ahead and claims
Okay.
it back, and she does so because AJ is not gonna be here forever for, like, a long-term thing, and I think as much as they could get money out of, like, AJ versus whoever, I don't
Yeah.
think that's the plan right now. It really seems like they had the match before, they have this match, because they had this on the way to Mania. So what was the point of not waiting and crowning her champ there? It'd be because she's losing the belt. That's the only
If
thing
she
I can
doesn't
think
drop it
of.
to Becky, my next prediction for who she drops it to, and probably not until like SummerSlam, would be AJ Lee, Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
Because you've got that certain section of the NXT roster that were like Punk and AJ's kids. It
And
was like
poor
Cora
Rox just
Jade.
comes back from
Yeah,
injury, essentially
and
being on the
oh my
shelf,
god,
and then gets
cracked
that
her head like an egg.
clobbered head wound. Oh my god.
But here's the thing about that. Like, I feel sorry for Roxy, but like they both smacked heads, and Liv is the one that's got to think like, I gotta have a WrestleMania match in 9 days.
Mhm.
But
No doubt about
no,
it.
you don't want to see it happen to anybody. But like,
No, but that sucks.
remember that one year where it came out, the notice from Vince, and it was like a month out from Mania, and it's like, John Cena is very important. We all have to make sure John Cena doesn't get injured. And I'm just like, if I'm a wrestler there, it's like, how about none of us get
How
injured?
about none of us get hurt, you asshole? Yeah, like,
Dickhead. Oh, I'm not saying Vince was by any stretch.
no.
But he did preside over the Attitude Era. What about the Attitude Era?
Can't forget the Attitude Era.
Fucking hell. I'm going AJ, you're going Becky.
Yes, I am. I'm going Becky because I can't fathom why they would not wait to have this match unless she's losing it.
It's really interesting, the dynamic now, because AJ Lee came back in storyline to help Punk, who was going up against heel Rollins and heel Becky, and that was the unit.
Yes.
Becky stayed heel, Rollins got injured, came back as a babyface.
I
So
mentioned
if
this and how it doesn't fit
if
anymore
AJ,
continuity-wise.
well, they don't need the guys in there to make their
No,
singles match.
no, but she was in
But
the
I'm just thinking
vision.
like,
She was like,
yeah,
none of this stuff was rectified or
I'm just thinking
finished,
because Becky's still a heel. Who does she look over her shoulder to? What do you want to say? Like, if she gets in trouble, like she could have looked to Rollins for a distraction if Rollins was in her corner, but he's a
Mhm.
babyface now, so why would he do that? Or does she get like a new minion?
She
Maybe
could.
be a new minion. Um, she hasn't been called up yet, but like Becky Lynch taking on a minion like Dame
Yeah,
would be fantastic. But it would
it
be
would be cool.
fantastic. I haven't done this yet. Um, I got AJ, you got Becky, and then we got
Yes.
a match that again, a match that's going to be awesome that everybody's complaining about. Seth
It's
Rollins
just
is
because it
taking
doesn't
on
make a ton of sense with Gunther and Seth. I mean, it really doesn't. They just threw it together. Why is he helping the Vision? Why is he like it's you can't say it's for Seth's career because he's not putting his career on the line. Like that would be a different
See,
story.
here's the thing. They could have done what I suggested when it first happened, and they didn't. They decided to attach a story to it instead. I've always said when you have somebody that's really, really high up on the roster and they're pissed off that they don't have a match at Mania, they just like a week or two before, they just go ahead and attack somebody even bigger. Um,
Yeah.
Sheamus did it to Triple H. Triple H did it to, Warrior back in the
Undertaker.
day. And do that whole like, I don't necessarily have a problem with you, but if I get in a fight with you, I'll get a Mania match.
Yes, this will benefit
Um,
me.
so the timing of it was so perfect of Adam Pearce yelling at Paul Heyman, check your email, check your email, check your email on that weird admin episode of Raw.
Yes.
And it wasn't until Adam Pearce announced that Rollins was 100% cleared, and I don't know why he would need to be 100% cleared just to attack Paul Heyman, but he was 100% cleared, and less than a minute later, he's getting choked out by Gunther. If you're
Yeah.
Gunther and you're mad, if you're Gunther and you're mad that you're not on the Mania card, and you see there's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has a deep WrestleMania history. He just got cleared. Let me go fuck him up before somebody else.
Yeah.
That would be the easiest story to tell. But they've gone the other way, and it is obvious. It is obvious, and people don't want to admit that it's that he has got something over Paul Heyman now. He told Paul Heyman with the handshake, yeah, you didn't ask me for this, but I did it anyway, and now you owe me a favor. The favor is going to be his match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like they could have gone with no reason at all other than I want a match at Mania, so I targeted somebody. I think that would have been a more Gunther-ish story, but they've gone the more, I dare say, cerebral assassin route of I'm going to have a match at WrestleMania now, and I'm going to have a bigger match at SummerSlam down the way. I'm the guy that retires people. I'm going to retire the guy that's retired a bunch of other people in Brock Lesnar. Gunther's gonna be babyfaced by SummerSlam because he's facing Brock Lesnar. Now, the fact that some people don't want to pretend that there's not much of a story here aside, the match is going to be fantastic, and Rollins is going to get clobbered.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be kind of funny if this and the Becky match are like back to back, and if I'm right about AJ, if they just take back to back L's, and you see them in the back being like, "What the fuck are we doing? This is kind of shit.
This is just. I mean, we know it's shit, but I think Gunther wins here.
He has to win.
He has to.
He has to win, and I'm gonna cut and paste one of my responses that I use quite a bit. He has to win, and Rollins doesn't lose anything by losing.
Nope. You got it.
I'm pretty sure post-match he gets speared by Breakker, who has been cleared but hasn't been on TV yet.
Yes.
And that
if he doesn't get speared, he'll get like a distraction, or it's going to set up them too, because that was the whole point of this.
No, I wouldn't do a distraction because if it's Gunther winning, I want Gunther to have the strongest win possible. If he needs,
I'm saying like if Breakker, comes out as the masked man and then reveals himself, and that's when he gets the choke in, I could see them doing that.
Yeah. I kind of like even better that he's not there until after the match, only because if Rollins gets choked out and Breakker is literally the dickhead that didn't come out until he knew he could come and pick the bones, from a character point of view, that makes him more of a dickhead.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we're building towards SummerSlam, Gunther versus Lesnar, Rollins versus Breakker. There's another match that I knew was happening at SummerSlam, and I can't think of what it is.
That's a long ways away, though, for Seth, though. I don't know if they'll hold that off for Seth that long.
Yeah. You need
something. Because there's a lot to chew through, so.
Chew. Anyways. I lost my place. Oh my God.
We're on to Liv and Stephanie. And
oh my God. With the reaction that another match is getting, I wouldn't mind this being the main event. I'm not going to lie. People are saying that's hyperbole. It's not.
It's not. No, I always said I would love to see this main event night one. And
Stephanie Vacour is amazing, and Liv is
one of the best entertainers they have.
Yes.
And they keep using them both wrong. I'm sorry.
Fair.
Like, I'm not one to be like, oh, you're doing this wrong, except for this feud.
Stop every other feud wrong.
Yeah, no, this feud I can comfortably say, like, even the Pat McAfee stuff isn't wrong. It's just misguided. This one is wrong. This one has been wrong since the get-go. The Mud Hut thing didn't get the reaction they needed. All of the bullshit that they tried to line up and just knock down, none of it made either one more lovable or negative of a character. It just made you apathetic to the match, and that's a huge problem. It became less about wanting to see the bout.
Right? Think about it is, and I don't want to say character is not important, because it is. The people that love Liv Morgan don't love her because she's a good guy. The people that love Stephanie Vacour don't necessarily love her because she's a good guy. She's a fucking fantastic wrestler. She's got the whole, like, I don't want to say supernatural, but like you'd say like goth-ish aesthetic, which always gets over in wrestling, combined with the fact that, she's a fantastic wrestler. She took one breath in AEW and said, fuck that. So, I like her a lot. Liv Morgan has the crowd in the palm of her hand, and she doesn't need to be a good guy to do it. She's
No, she
so fantastic.
knows.
The post-show, not press conference, the little outdoor scrum thing that they did after she won the Rumble, she just hung out there and bragged. Like, it wasn't even a promo. It's just like,
No.
I'm back and I'm awesome and I won the Rumble and what
And
about
it
it?
fits. And I wish they didn't. They could have made her a face. Just that
I don't want her to,
version.
I don't want her to be a face. I really, it's the Dominic thing. Like, if they tried with the way that the crowd loves Dom,
Yeah.
the conversation has always been, oh my God, any day now they're going to turn him face. It's like, okay, but if you turn him face, you're going to take away the character that people like.
I don't think so, though. Because look at Eddie Guerrero. He could be he was the exact same. He was still lying, cheating, and stealing. It was just that the audience was in on it now. So they cheered for it
which
instead of.
Which is fine. Which is fine. And I love Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio is one of the biggest success stories in WWE right now. If you don't agree with that, fight me.
Yeah.
But he's not Eddie Guerrero.
No, he's not, but he's getting to that.
He's getting there.
Realm. He's still young and he's got time and he's great
but you don't need to,
facets.
You don't need to make him a good guy if he's already sitting there being a dickhead and we love him for being a dickhead.
Yes. I get your point. I just think with
Morgan,
Liv, though, the
way her sarcasm works.
Yeah.
The way her sarcasm works is just taking the piss out of what it is to be a good guy. Like, every time, like, Stephanie Vacour is telling her her sad story. If she turns on Raquel, like, they're gonna get into like Raquel's like skin condition thing or whatever. She's gonna say some terrible, horrible things to her, and we're all gonna cheer because she's so good at the delivery of being a bad. Like, I get what you mean about, like, okay, you can be a babyface and still cheat a little bit, and the fans will let you.
Yeah, she could still tear people down and rip people a new one and be a confident, cocky asshole. You've seen it. It's less of a character shift and just a tonality thing.
Right, and you can do that, and you can be a person that everybody likes and just do, like, some heely, tricky things. The thing with Liv Morgan, and I would say this leaps and bounds even over somebody like a Dominic. When you find somebody, people are gonna hate this comparison, but MJF over in AEW, I don't want to see somebody go babyface that truly, truly relishes in being a terrible person.
Yeah, because MJF was our asshole, and that's kind of what ruined him.
Yeah.
Because then people were like, "Oh, see, he's just
go back to being
asshole.
An actual genuine Liv Morgan." And it's low key because a lot of people are making comparisons between her and Amber Heard as a way to make fun of her, and I'm like, that's not the dig you think it is.
No.
I hate to tell you, but like, when you get her in the right moment, not every single match, not every single feud, but when she gets the opportunity, and she's had the opportunity with the Stephanie Vacour thing, when she gets the opportunity to really sink her teeth into being a genuine bitch, and you see her relishing in, I'm going to be terrible to you, I don't want to see her go face. Let her keep being a heel and she'll get cheered. We've got a lot of that this year, if you haven't noticed.
No, I can get that, and I can get behind that totally. But I still think Liv Morgan's going to win regardless. That's going to be the outcome here.
Yeah. Oh, Liv Morgan has to win. No offense to Stephanie Vacour, she will be champion again, and probably quickly.
Yes.
But
Liv's winning.
Yeah, it's a weird if we re-elevate Becky Lynch, throwing Becky Lynch in between the two of these post WrestleMania is going to be a really interesting dynamic to see who gets what reaction.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about it. There's been a lot of talking. There's been a lot of people talking about other people talking. There's been people talking on the phone.
I really thought the voices was going to be, and I understand why Cody was set on it, but like, I thought it was going to be the voices in his head still, like he was just talking to himself. Even Cornette agreed, because I couldn't think of anybody that would fit.
Hey, Jake,
that would make logical sense.
Jake, let me get my joke out.
Please.
It's Cody Rhodes versus Pat McAfee with Randy Orton in his corner.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. We know this, right?
But you're not, because that's what it turned into.
No. I'm loving it. Because I'm loving it. I have not watched WWE so expertly set Twitter on fire since Daniel Bryan 18 seconds. I love all of this. I love all the people that swear that they never watch WWE losing their mind over this. I love people that fantasy booked, oh, it's going to be so-and-so, it's going to be this and that. WWE's so terrible, they'll probably bring Ted DiBiase Jr. back. WWE is so predictable. They do everything, everything's so cut and dry. It's so predictable. We know what's going to happen 10 minutes before it happens. And then they brought out Pat McAfee and they say, where did that come from? Okay, well, you want a surprise. Here's a surprise. He's taking the piss. And everybody's like, I can't believe he's talking about the Attitude Era. Randy Orton wasn't even in the Attitude Era. Yeah, he's a heel.
You missed something.
He's bullshitting. There. And I want to reach through my screen right now. And all those people that are getting really mad on Twitter right now, I want to pat you on the head and be like, good job, you're playing your role.
Yeah, you missed it.
The fact that Punk brought up the ticket prices and then Pat McAfee immediately stole that thunder from him. And it's like, thanks to me talking to Dodge Ram, I got you guys. He took it right out of Punk's hands.
And even tried to hit the whole, like, oh, you get the money the same narrative. Like, you're a hypocrite because of the Saudi thing. But it's not the flex that I think they think it is.
It's not supposed to be. He's delusional. He's the personification of the guy we talked about a second ago. What about the Attitude Era?
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, why would Randy Orton go to him? Randy Orton didn't go to him. Pat McAfee is a guy attached to the higher power who's got a plan, and he's using Randy Orton's, what do you want to call it, hunger for the title to make him a pawn. Randy Orton's a pawn. That's going to be the best part. When this is all over, when this is all said and done, when it all breaks up, the catharsis is going to be Randy Orton hitting Pat McAfee with an RKO.
Yes.
Maybe now, maybe 6 months from now.
But it will happen.
I love so much. Well, this is wrong and this is so bad and this is so terrible and blah blah blah. Yes, you're giving them the reaction that they want. They've got you so convinced that Pat McAfee is bad and TKO is bad and whatever that shows up on the screen is bad, that they've tricked fans into the stupid comment that 25% off WrestleMania tickets is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I fucking love this, man. I was going to say I shouldn't, but I do. I like it, man. And people are like, oh my God, they just brought in another celebrity. Pat McAfee works for WWE. It's
up until a week ago was beloved by the audience. It's funny how they thought. I still don't know why they thought this was the right answer. Like, I know you're reeling in the I almost want to say the failure of it all, but that's not it. But I know you're reeling in the chaos that it's caused. But realistically, they have ruined Mania, at least the main event of this match, by pulling this shit. Like, there was no need for Pat inserted at all. Cody and Orton had enough history to stand on its own. It needed none of this. It didn't even need a heel turn. They could have waited till after Mania for a heel turn to involve Pat, to involve Jelly Roll. They could have had all of this. But why they had to so vehemently and stubbornly rush into this is just baffling to me.
All right, we're going to pretend there's not a cut there because that's the favorite game we like to play when my internet dies. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I hate this whole thing because it just didn't need to happen yet. They could have waited till after Mania and then added Jelly Roll, added Orton's voice in his head that is Pat McAfee. They could have had the multi-man tag match they wanted back. Like, they could have done everything. Why did they have to rush it along now and throw it in? I don't see how this bettered the story or made Mania any more enticing or desirable.
Because the heat is in you making that exact question.
But a lot of the heat is people not wanting to watch now. It's more of a like, ugh, this is bad, instead of being like, ugh, I want him to lose kind of thing. That's the problem here.
I'm not going to lie. I'm calling bullshit on that.
I've seen more people give up on Mania because of this than not.
I do not think there is a person that was planning on watching WrestleMania that is suddenly not watching WrestleMania because they don't like what's happening in this one match.
There is not a single person. One, but
there's not a single person out there that has bought a ticket that has tickets to Vegas and saw what WrestleMania is with the actual main event, which happens on night 2, by the way. So this is essentially a mid-card match. There is nobody selling their WrestleMania ticket because Pat McAfee is now in Randy Orton's corner.
I don't know about selling tickets, but there's definitely some Cody fans that have just been like, all right, fuck it. This is not even like fun at this point. It's just lost
But
its luster.
those same Cody fans were pissed off when they passed off the title to Drew, and they're like, "Oh, Cody and Randy Orton is way too obvious," and they were cheering Randy and they were booing Cody because they were getting sick of him. So
see, I saw less of that then. I saw more of
you didn't see Cody Rhodes getting booed to shit on Raw and SmackDown since the feud.
Cody definitely, but I'm saying with the fan base, it was more they were less against the change up and more for that than just the straight up. I feel like everyone thought it was going to be a multi-person match at Mania versus just a one-on-one.
Yeah, but then those same people are going to turn around and say, "Oh my God, why is everything a 4-way? Why is everything a triple threat? WWE can't make up their mind." So they made up their mind when they WWE has a choice of doing something, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, maybe it pisses people off, maybe it doesn't, or they can do something that says, "Hey, you know what? We can do something we know is going to piss people off, and that's the point." And like anything else, like the criticism, if you and I ever go and criticize something from AEW, from MLP, from New Japan, whatever, okay, well, that's not for you. Maybe that's the match where you go take a piss. Cool. Put your money where your mouth is and turn your TV off after the semi-main event. You won't.
Well, there might be some, but there's people still that want, like me included. I want to see this, but I'm seeing it out of principle only. Like the desire to watch this is gone. They have killed this match for me spectacularly.
You're not somebody going out of their way. No matter what happens, I'm going to shit on WWE.
No, but I'm still a fan that's affected by this negatively, and that's what I'm speaking on. And that's my overarching problem. They have a ton of fans that they have excluded by pulling this shit, or at least have ruined more of the relationship with. And it's not a WWE thing either. It's more evidently obvious than ever becoming a TKO thing. It's consistently down to money.
How do you not see they're leaning into that? TKO at this point TKO at this point are allowing themselves to be the villain.
Yes.
And if you allow yourself to be the villain, you line up everybody that goes against you as a good guy. Cody Rhodes is standing up against TKO. CM Punk on Raw is standing up against TKO.
It's the same as the corporation and McMahon, facing off.
Triple H is going to lead a team of WWE folks versus like The Rock leading a team of TKO people. They're having their own internal invasion, and it's fucking great. Them allowing TKO to be a character is fucking brilliant.
See, I think it's I don't think it's brilliant. I think it's just a reaction because they got screwed by unexpected nature of it all. They really thought that this was going to go over.
Can I give you another example of something that's just a reaction? Can I give you another example of something that some people out there, the naysayers out there, not you, the proper naysayers out there would say, "Oh, it's just a reaction"? The glass shattering. The LA Knight. Yeah. The yeet. The if you smell. Wrestling's built on reactions.
No, I get that, but I'm saying they're reacting to a negative, and that's the only reason it came to be. They didn't have a creative idea in mind. We're like, oh, this is what we're going with.
Then WWE's outing you.
They're outing themselves, though. That's the thing.
No, they're not. No,
they had their fandom. And they went ahead and they damaged some of it because TKO has overpriced and priced out fans. The sentiment has been heard.
The actual ticket price thing is bullshit. We've had that conversation.
But a lot of what TKO has done has been bullshit for the past year or so. The way they've treated and handled a lot of things has been bad for fans and bad. So people are tired of them. So whether or not they want to pretend that they're the villain in a story is fine, but they're the villain in actual life is what I'm saying. And the question is, why are they doing the things they're doing when it's just negatively affecting the outcome? It's not out of spite directly.
Okay. They didn't make the WrestleMania tickets redonkulously expensive as a part of this story. No. They're just letting the good guys say that now. But I'm saying as a creative move, within the story, inserting Pat McAfee, you know, him having the protection of a higher power, nobody can touch him, etc., making TKO a character in that regard. If people didn't care, they wouldn't be pissed.
Yeah. See, I'm pissed
And
because it's like they're trying to eat their cake and get away with it too. Because
good.
here we
That's
fucked
what
over
every
the
promoter
fans.
does.
No, exactly. But we've
That's what every
fucked over
promoter
the
does. That's
fans.
why it's brilliant.
We've ruined the fans the entire time. And now it's like, hey, you either take this or you don't. And I get it, but
okay, but here's the
they've
thing.
teased
That's
so
them,
much better things along the way.
That's them making the best of a bad situation because they've priced people out and because it's come back to bite them in the ass. They're gonna change. The news has come out. They've done all kinds of discounts for WrestleMania. They're looking at their price structure moving on from WrestleMania onwards. They're looking at completely restructuring that as a step back from actual real life moves that they've made, and the fans have told them, no, we're not going to pay that much.
Yeah.
They've already made that decision. Those changes are already being made. So if those changes are already being made and there's cheaper tickets coming in the future, why would you not, in character, give that credit to your good guys? Have Cody.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to capitalize
Johnny
on
Jimmy.
them.
Don't have Johnny Jimmy 121 on Twitter be the guy that gets the credit for telling them to lower prices.
No.
Have Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. Have CM Punk on Raw. Have them be the ones that made, you know, quote unquote, made TKO.
Well, this was Pat McAfee making it cheaper for everybody to see Randy Orton. You know, that was the goal there.
No bullshit. The first person,
but that was the story. That was what they presented to us.
Listen to me though. CM Punk brought it up. CM Punk.
Oh, I know the story to it. I know all this, but I'm saying they literally had Pat McAfee do it. So for the people that are bitching, it's because of how it's been presented. You and I have more brain cells to look into it, but they've literally had Pat say,
yes, Punk brought it up. Punk, you had to have a babyface bring it up, and you had to have a heel say, "Oh, of course I was going to do that." Because it was something that was nudged by the good guys that the bad guys want to take credit for. What's the number one criticism of any like top business person ever? They're making a million bad decisions a day and getting the credit for the work that their hard workers do. That's what Pat just did to Punk.
Yes.
In character on television.
Exactly. But that's besides the point of what I'm trying to say, basically, because
Dodge Ram and Pat McAfee didn't actually happen.
Obviously, but that's the point that they presented to fans.
And he's reveling in not only fucking, I'm fucking over the fans and I'm getting, and I'm.
Yes. So now Punk on Monday gets to go, well, I get to make night 2 even cheaper or whatever the rebuttal
is. Because he's not in the big power position.
The point is they're not going to discount one night and not discount the other. They're going to do some type of payoff to it. There's going to be.
But here's the thing. But as a heel move for Pat McAfee, who's representing Randy Orton, oh, I made a good deal so that fans could get cheaper tickets, but only for the night, that my guy is main eventing. That way, they'll go to my guy's night. So when I say we're saving wrestling, look, we are saving wrestling. More people came to my guy's night of WrestleMania in storyline. That's a boost, a false boost for Randy Orton and a false shot at CM Punk.
Yes, but I'm telling you, Punk or that they're going to have a rebuttal built in where they have a discount for night 2 on Monday.
In the moment on the night, there's like, oh shit, there's a guy that's calling our bluff and saying something that makes a lot more sense. Better steal that thunder immediately.
Yeah, Punk's coming out, or Roman, somebody's coming out with a discount code for that second night on Monday. That's happening.
But what does that do as well? That proves that Pat McAfee's insertion into this match has had such a ripple effect that it's going to affect both nights. It's going to affect more than just Cody and Randy. It's going to affect.
But it's not Pat McAfee. It could have been that's the problem. It didn't need to be Pat.
So it could have been
anybody.
It didn't have to be Pat McAfee.
It could have been Nick Aldis. It could have been Adam Pearce. It could have been Triple H.
Jake, follow me for a second. It could have been anybody. Why the hell was it Pat McAfee? You're pissed off about that, right?
Less pissed and more bored by it. That's the thing here. I'm like, you picked Pat. Okay. You made him into a bad guy when he was your top commentator and you had everybody around it. That just takes me out of it. It's just,
okay, I love WWE, but there's 50% of that roster that could take a promo lesson from Pat McAfee.
I didn't say he's bad at promo. Jelly Roll is better than 3/4 of them most times. And that's saying a lot, too.
And Jelly Roll's involved, too, and people are mad about that, too.
Well, because again, it's Jelly Roll and it's fucking, it's the Celebrity Hour. It's not Cody and it's not Orton. It's Jelly Roll, and it comes down to Pat McAfee. And I mean, you've made the joke, but you know it as
One of
well
the
in your
most
heart of hearts that
anticipated
Orton has taken a major back seat to everything. Pat came out and cut a 25-minute promo while Orton stood in the back for a second.
One of the most anticipated matches in, I would say, WrestleMania history happened over 20 years ago between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Did anybody complain at the time, oh, why is Mike Tyson here?
Mike Tyson fit. He was a perfect fit. No one could contain the action in the ring except for one man. Only one man was going to be able. And then him and Austin got into a fight when they brought him in. So then he sided with DX. And then him and DX, oh, look at that. He double crossed them. Really, he was with Austin the whole time. Like, that was Tyson made sense because they billed him as the only man that could enforce the match.
And it was Vince McMahon as a power move that brought in Mike Tyson. It's the higher powers in TKO that brought in Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee's going to fight with Cody Rhodes. And when Randy Orton realized,
does McAfee stand in there? What good does he do bringing him into this?
The fact that nobody wants him there.
It could be anybody. You could put Humberto Carrillo in there and no one would want him there. That's the point, though. It's not designed for Pat McAfee. This is strictly a reaction. They're reacting to a negative.
Have cut the promo and been the dickhead with the prior
possibly
being a dickhead.
You got to give him a chance. According to your logic, give him a chance. He didn't have any reason to be in there.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I just love this.
No. But Pat has no reason to be in there, and that's the harm in all of this. It's only But that's not the point. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because they're doing it as a rebuttal due to the point of the reaction of what they put themselves into. They've shit themselves into a corner. So this is their response.
The point
they didn't have this written down in a notebook being like, all right, and then the next turn leads to Pat McAfee, and because it's going to make the fans mad. No, they had to turn to this out of desperation is the point. So this was never a plan.
What did we say at the beginning? One of the things that's going on right here is the ticket prices. People, the TKO listen to the thing about the ticket prices. They're going to change the ticket prices. So if we're going to do this and the fans are going to like it because the ticket prices are smaller, why don't we put that into the story? Now, you want another example of people paying attention and people saying, oh my God, this is this. Okay, let's use what they're telling us to piss them off more. People are pissed off that there's so much Jelly Roll in WWE. People are pissed off that I Show Speed is there. People, in their own mind anyway, consider Logan Paul still an outsider, and they don't like the fact that he's there, and they don't like that Sexy Red is on NXT.
I don't think they're actually doing that. I don't think they're actually putting these people on to make people mad. I think they just think it's working, and they're failures at it. I think you're overthinking it.
They do.
I think you're just like, rage is good, rage is great. I need rage bait and make everybody rage and angry. But I don't think they're setting out to make people angry. I think they're just failing, and that's what it is.
No, they're not putting all these people in there to piss people off. Sexy Red isn't there to piss people off. I Show Speed isn't there to piss. Even Logan Paul isn't really there to piss people off. Jelly Roll's not there to piss people off.
No.
But WWE, as much as people don't want to admit it, WWE is the listening company. They do listen. They don't do what you want, but they do listen.
They hear.
Like, okay, we've done all these legitimate attempts to get some celebrity involvement. It might boost this, it might boost that. It didn't work, and people are mad about it. So we're not going to bring in a celebrity that's going to make people happy. We're going to say, you know what? You don't want a cigarette? How about a whole pack of cigarettes? We're going to take this guy, Pat McAfee, who you say is an outsider, even though he works for us, and we're going to jam him down your throats in the main event of Saturday, which isn't a main event because it's not the main event if there's more WrestleMania after your match.
But after the last WrestleMania, they spent weeks explaining how Pat McAfee was not an outsider. He's one of us, and he represents the wrestlers and the people and the fans, and he took on Gunther and all this shit. And they did all of that to put that over, and now all of a sudden,
fight back on it every time. They were pissed off that he had a match with Gunther.
More people were for it than against it. More people were excited to watch it than hated it, and it still turned out to be a as we said, a good match. The thing was that the issue here is that they took a guy that fans love and they're like, all right, we'll make him the bad guy. Well, why? Well, I don't know. Fuck it. It's going to make people mad. That's the issue. Like, so you're going to make people mad. Great. That's the byproduct. But what's the reason? Oh, we don't have one. And that's
We
my
don't know what the
issue.
reason is. He's got a plan to bring back the Attitude Era. This is just step one.
But it's not
This is
working for me is the point. It's making me physically
okay.
not want to watch WrestleMania is what I'm telling you. Like this is
But
the
do you know
anti-function.
why do you know why I love you as a co-host? If we get to Saturday
Yes.
and by hook or by crook, whatever they end up doing, whatever the Pat McAfee master plan is, if it ends up being brilliant, you will admit it.
Oh,
The,
absolutely.
the rest of the people bringing up the same points that you are bringing up right now will have the same argument with me after Mania that you're having right now, even if it ends up being brilliant.
Yeah.
That's why I have the best co-host in the business.
Damn straight, broski. No, because you see it as well, though. And that's the thing. We've always been honest to call it. And that's the problem that most people don't. My
Because
thing is
I'll
like,
tell you
I'll
I'll tell
watch
you
it
what did this to me.
regardless to review it. But I'm at the point now where like, I don't know if I'd be watching. I know I wouldn't be watching Raw and SmackDown weekly. I'd be tuning in to like maybe just the YouTube. And I would not be watching all this. I'd be watching NXT, and that'd probably be it right now because this SmackDown was a chore to get through. And Raw has been a little bit of a faster pace, but overall, like once you get past the first
I like Raw
long
because
introduction,
you never know when Raw is going to be over.
yeah, you kind of
The
get
whole Netflix of it all.
10:20
Here's
to
the thing.
10:40. You got to guess.
Here's the thing as well, right? I brought it up for a reason. I said I haven't seen WWE successfully set Twitter on fire like this since Daniel Bryan 18 seconds. Man, yeah, they were
I think they
absolutely
have
right.
since
And
then. I have to think about it, but
it's just my favorite example because it winds up
yes,
all
it's
the
a
right.
great example though.
And Daniel Bryan's dead in the water. They've buried him, they've killed him. Yeah, he sure went ahead and had no career after that with multiple world titles and multiple Mania main events, and became one of the most popular guys out there in and out of WWE. So I remember the crash out, and
Yes,
again, I'm saying like you bringing all your logical points is absolutely fine. I get where you're coming from. I don't agree, but I get it.
yes.
But the actual crash outs, the
Oh, yes.
actual like JD from New York cosplayers out there that are acting like it's the end of days and it's the all is lost moment. I remember those people from Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan 18 seconds. And then he went on to win ladder matches and win
Exactly,
Intercontinental
like, it's
Championships.
not the
And
end of the world
and
like they're treating it.
I'm sorry, a couple years later, they did the most John Cena booking ever. We're gonna have you go into a fight with Triple H
Triple
and
H
win, and
win,
then get battered by a sledgehammer, and then go back the same night against two of the
take an
biggest stars.
ambulance ride, and then come back and defend
Yep.
against 2 people that team up to take you out.
The kind of booking that would get slated if it was John Cena, but
Yes, but that was as
it's
Super Cena as it could get for Daniel
yep.
Bryan. That whole
Mhm.
thing was
I'm just saying people crashed out at Daniel Bryan 18 seconds. But the thing about that, people crashed out about a thing that happened. People are a lot of people I think are crashing out at what they think might happen at WrestleMania. And that leads me to the question, who's winning?
I mean, and there could be something amazing that comes out of this, and I will indeed give it to them, if it comes out of it. But I feel like that vision is long gone. They're
I don't know what the vision is.
they're yeah.
If we see WrestleMania end and it's like Pat McAfee and The Rock and Roman Reigns and Randy Orton and Vince McMahon all standing tall with all the titles at the end of Mania as
Yeah.
like the blackest pyro goes off,
Yeah.
then cool. Then cool, because you know what? That's a big monster. That's Thanos coming for you. That's Doctor Doom. You know what that means? It means you have to get it together a whole new team of Avengers. My metaphor fell right off the face of the earth right there.
Yeah,
So
exactly, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing about all this. The people that don't like the Pat McAfee thing and whatever the Pat McAfee thing is, Randy Orton has to win this because we have to find out what the Pat McAfee thing is.
yeah. I mean, but if they tell us, that's the
Mm.
worry. I mean,
You think
if
Cody has a
they
chance?
I don't think so. Because they keep saying Randy Orton's done if he doesn't win, and
Yeah.
there's just
And
so much.
outside of kayfabe for a second, Randy Orton getting his 15th title win is kind of kick ass.
Yeah. And I think that's how it should have been painted to begin with. Like, people didn't want to boo Cena last year. They don't want to boo Randy this year. They just wanted to see, they even painted it for so long as, oh, Randy's going to get his titles. Finally. Awesome. But it just,
what
disappointing now to get into this. Like, now he wins, it's tainted.
What percentage of a chance do you give Cody Rhodes?
10%, maybe less. I feel like it has to be Orton in this because, I mean, they could do the retain thing, but really, the way it's set up, then I could see Cody losing at Mania again, and he sits there all disheveled, hands, in his lap, and
the all is lost moment.
Yes. Where's the rubber chicken?
Oh dear, the chicken. Anyways,
I would like to say more, but it feels like the way they painted it. Milo agrees. It's Orton's night. It has to be.
It has to be Orton's night. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up for night 1 because we still gotta get on to the second pod and do night 2. Tell them where to find you, and we will go on and record a whole nother podcast.
Indeed. You can find me over on youtube.com/Jake DeMarco for all live reviews and podcasting fun. So go ahead and check us out over there, and on Twitter at Countdown Ended.
All right, and you guys know where to find me or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. This has been night 1 of Wrestlemania with a little bit of SmackDown thrown in. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all of these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, me and Super Jake tagging out. Bye, guys.